Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku episode 31, where we take very easy variant Sudoku puzzles and we break them down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Reddened with the Blood of My Enemies by Burger Mason. That's a little chilling actually of a title, but let's go with it. Here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 without repeats in every row, column, and box. A marked cell in column X indicates the column where X appears in the row. All columns follow this rule. So this is kind of confusing, but the simple breakdown is anytime you have a marked cell and it looks like it's all marked because they're all red, I guess that's all marked with the blood of his enemies, then that indicates the column where X, the column X. So, okay, let's use an example. Maybe that's easier. Say this were a 5. A marked cell indicate in column X, so this is column 2, indicates where X appears in the row. So column 2 then appears, since this is column 2, X is 2. So 2 appears in the 5th cell in the row. So therefore, this being 5 would force this to be a 2, right? Because the marked cell, and every cell is marked in this puzzle because it's all red. A marked cell in column X indicates where that X appears in the row. And so therefore this 5 says that a 2 is in the 5th position, which would be the 5th column also. And this 2 also says that 5 is in the 2nd position or the 2nd column. So it actually satisfies each other going that way. And all columns follow this rule. So remember, every column, it works for the same for every column. Once you have a digit in it, that tells you in that row where it is. And we number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically left to right, which is normal Western reading notation. In addition, I'll say this fast, we also number by convention the boxes, typical Western reading convention, which is top to bottom and left to right. So this is box 1, this is box 2, this is box 3, this is box 4, this is box 5, this is box 6, box 7, box 8, and box 9. And that's the second rule. And the last rule is adjacent digits on a green line must differ by 5 or more. And this is called the German whisper line. So basically, if, for example, this were a 3, we know this digit would have to be an 8 or a 9 because, again, adjacent digits have to differ by at least 5. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. So now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay, so the way that I would break things down is on a German whisper line, we know you can never have a 5 on it. So if you have a 5, where is it going? Like, because, okay, 5 can never be on a German whisper line because if you try to get a digit that's 5 away from it, what is 5 less than a 5? It has to be 0 or less, which are not normal Sudoku digits. How about if you try to add 5 to 5? Well, that's 10 or more, and therefore those aren't actual digits. So 5, again, can never be on a normal Sudoku. Or it's a normal Sudoku German whisper line. So 5, in box 5, where can the 5 be? It has to be one of these two cells. Well, that indicates, again, for a marked cell, which both of these are marked, if the 5 is here, that would say a 4 is in the 5th position, which would be here. So therefore, if this were 5, this would have to be specifically a 4, and therefore it would work for itself, right? Because I would be saying for column 5, the 5 has to be in the 4th position, right? Now, if this were a 5, that would say that this would have to be in the 6th position, right? Sorry, a 6 would have to be in the 5th position, right? Because column 5, it's essentially, it works both ways, right? If this is a 5, the 5 is in the 6th position, and the 6 has to be in the 5th position. So either way, this is 5 or this is 5 in box 5. Therefore, this can only be 4 or 6 because the rest of the row cannot contain a 5. Well, since similarly in box 8, where are the 5 and 6? Where is the 5s, right? Well, these can't be 5 because of the German whisper line. So 5 must be either here or here, which is also 4 or 6 here. So therefore, this cell has to be either 4 or 6. Well, 4 and 6 can only be next to 1 and 9 on the German whisper line, right? 4 can only be next to 9 specifically. So if this is 4, this has to be 9 and 9. If this is 6, this has to be 1 or 1 on the German whisper line. Now, what could this digit be? Well, if this is 1, that would be saying that 5 has to be in the 1st position. But we said already before that we know that 5 can never be on a German whisper line. So therefore, if this were 1, this would have to be 5, and we would have a contradiction then. So this can never be 1. This has to be 9, which means this is a 5, because this 9 is saying that the 5 has to be in the 9th position. Now, 9 can only be next to a 4 on a German whisper line. Or sorry, 4 and 6, 9 can only be next to 4. 4 can only be next to 9 on a German whisper line. This 4 is saying that the 5 is in the 4th position, so therefore this is a 5. This cannot be 5 anymore. This can't be 4, so this must be 6. The 6 can only be next to a 1 on a German whisper line, so this must be 1. This 6 says that a 5 is in the 6th position, so this must be a 5. So this can't be 5 again. One of these two is a 5, because those are the only digits remaining that are not on a German whisper line for row 6. What about box 7? 5 can't be here, so 5 can't be on the German whisper line, so one of these two has to be a 5. Which does say that this has to be 2 or 3 here. Oh, this one says that a 5 is in the 1st position, so this has to be 5, which means this can't be 5. If one of these is a 5, that would mean the 2 or the 3 would have to be the position for it. So this is 2 or 3. And this has to be 7 or 8, which means 5 has to be one of these two, which fits. Now this... Okay, so this 9 says that 6 is in the 9th position, so this has to be a 6. We already have that pair. We have this pair. Let's see. Where can 4 be in box 8? It cannot be here, because this is next to 2 unique digits. Actually, it can't be either of these, because it has to be next to a 9 on a German whisper line, and the 9 is eliminated from here. It cannot be here, because this is next to 2 unique digits on the German whisper line, either this way or this way. So it cannot be here. It could be either of these cells. And we know 9 could be any of these cells. Well, this can't be... this could be 4 here. Right? Because it would be saying 4 is in the 4th position, which is fine. If this were 9, that would force this to be 4, but then this would not be 9 on the German whisper line. So this can never be 9. So 9 has to be one of these two cells, which means one of these two cells has to be a 4. Right? Because this is saying that 4 is in the 9th position, so therefore one of these two must be a 4. So, let's see. Where can a 6 be? In box 5. Well, first thing, we know this is a low, so let's color this a low. We're gonna make the highs, I guess. I don't know. Pink? Does it stand out? Not really. What about orange? Orange is okay-ish. Yellow's probably better. So we're gonna make the highs yellow here. Actually, we don't even... yeah, we're gonna make the highs yellow. So this is a low. So on a German whisper line, you'll always alternate between the set of low digits and then the set of high digits. And the low digits are specifically 1 through 4, and the high digits are 6 through 9. The reason why this works is if you have a 1, what is 5 away from that? Well, it has to be 6 or higher. So, and 1 is the lowest of the low digits. So anytime you have a low digit, it would have to be 6 or higher anyways. If you have a high digit, which is 6 through 9, what digits can be next to that? It has to take the highest most digit, which is 9, and then subtract 5 from it. That gives you 4 or lower, which can be next to the 9. So anytime you have a 6 through 9, you can have a 1 through 4 next to it, or you have to have a 1 through 4 next to it, and vice versa. So it always alternate between this. So if you notice that here, this has to be a low because it's next to a high digit, which is next to a low digit, high digit, low digit, high digit, low digit, high digit. So we know these also alternate. We're just going to color them orange and pink. And we're just choosing randomly right now because we don't know how it's ordered. So this is orange. These 3 must be pink. So therefore this is orange then. We know this can never be 6 or 4. This can never be 6 or 4. This could be 6 though, because it could be these two digits could be the same. And it could be 1 essentially, right? So this is 1 through 4. We don't know about this. These two must be the same set because they're both next to the same set here, but we don't know which one it is, right? It could be pink or it could be orange. We're not sure. This is a high or low, which means 5 has to be one of those. This digit has to be 7, 8, or 9. It cannot be a 6, right? This can't be 6 either, actually. Well, none of them can be 6. Oh, we don't even... this is 7, 8, or 9, or it's 2 or 3, right? because it could be low here. Um, oh, okay. We know out of these two digits, one is high and one is low. Out of these two digits, one is high and one is low. We have already two lows in box 5. So we know this one of these is low, one of these is low, both of these are low. So that's 4 lows. So this can never be a low digit. It has to be a high digit, which we're making yellow, I guess. And so this is 6, 7, or 8. We know, again, there's 2 highs and 2 lows here. This is a high. So there's 2 highs and 2 lows here because they alternate. So this cannot be a high. This has to be a low also. So this is also 1 through 4. That would mean the 6 has to be one of these cells, right? Because of that, we know one of these two cells has to be a 6 here, right? Because it can't be both in box 1, because that would violate normal Sudoku rules. Therefore, we know a 4 has to be one of these two cells. Actually, we knew that already, but yeah. So therefore, 6 has to be here in box 2, which eliminates 6 from the rest of the box. Therefore, where can 6 be in box 5? It cannot be here because that sees 2 cells, unique cells on the German whisper line, 2 unique digits on the German whisper line. So it could be either one of these 2 cells. I'm not sure what else that tells us. We know 6 has to be one of these 2 cells. This is a 4, obviously. We know these 2 are one of each set, and these 2 are one of each set. We also know this is a high. These 2 are highs, and this is a low. This is a high. So therefore, what is the remaining digit in box 8? We have 2 highs here. There's 1 here, and there's 1 here. That's all 4 highs possible here. Therefore, this must be a low, because it cannot be 5 either. So this is 2, 3, or 4. Can this ever be 3? If this were 3, the problem is this would have to be a 4 then, if that's the case, right? Because this is saying, if this is 3, that's saying the 4 has to be in the 3rd column. But if this is 3, sorry, if this is 4, if this 3 makes this a 4, which makes that a 9, but then the 9 has to be next to a low. But then this would have to be a 4 also, because that's the only other place for 4. And that would be a contradiction in the German whisper rule set. So this can never be 3. It can be 2 or 4. So either 4 in row 9 is either in column 2 or it's in column 4. Let's see. 4 cannot be in column 7 or 8. Because we already know we have one digit, 1 4 in either one of these two cells because of the 9 that's here. So this can never be 7 or 8 here. Because we know one of these 4s is a 4. So the rest of the box cannot contain a 4. So 7 or 8 is ruled out for this digit. 7 or 8 cannot be in this digit either because of the same issue. So this could be 2, 3, 4, or 9. Cannot be 6 because the 6 would have to be next to a 1. Cannot be 7 or 8 because that would force one of these to be a 4 when we know there's already a 4 in column 9 of box 9. Therefore, one of these is a 9. We're not sure which. If this were a 3, the problem is then this would have to be 4, because this is saying that a 4 has to be in the third column. But then that's not a difference of 5 between those two digits, so this can never be 3. So this is specifically 2 or 9, which means a 4 could be here, or 4 could be here. Can this be 3? Yes, because then that would be 9, and this would be 4, so that's fine. If this is 4, that would be 9. That's fine. So this is specifically 2 or it's 9. This could be 1, 2, or 3. It cannot be 4 because of that 4. Or it could be 7 or 8. Excuse me. So one of these has to be 7 or 8, which means 6 has to be one of these 4 cells, which we already knew. This can't be 6, this can't be 6. We know this has to be 2, 3, 5, or 7, 8. Say this was a low. If this was a low, it can only be 1, right? Because if it's 2 or 3, the problem is you would have to have a 4 here, which is not possible because it would be, you can't even have 4 be anywhere along this line. Because 4 can only be next to 9, and we already have a 9 in the row. So this can never be low. This has to be a high. So we know all the orange digits have to be high. Again, this indicates that a 4 is in the column that the digit is, right? So if this were a low, that would mean there has to be a 4 along one of these 3 digits, which means that it would have to be next to a 9, but it can't be next to a 9 because we already have a 9 in the row. So this can never be a low digit, therefore we know all the oranges are high digits, so we know those are all yellows. All the pink digits are low digits. So this cannot be 9. This then has to be a 9 because it's a high digit, which is saying that the 4 has to be in the 9th position. So this can't be 4. This then has to be a 9 because on a German whisper line, 4 can only be next to 9. This is a low, so this could be 1, 2, or 3, which is next to 6, 7, or 8. But this can't be 6 because we know 4 has to be here. So this is a 7 or 8. This is a 7 or 8 because it's next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. Therefore, this can never be 7 or 8 in the rest of row 5. The 7 or 8 means the 2 has to be in 7 or 8. And the 7 or 8 here means the 4 has to be in the 7 or 8 position, which means those are both low. So therefore, we know this is 1 and 3. And this is 1 or 3. And it could be interchangeable with each other. This must be the 6 then. So this is a 6, which means this can't be 6. The 6 must be next to a 1 on a German whisper line. So this is 1. This can't be 1. This is 2 or 3. The 1 has to be next to a 7 or 8 here, because it has to be a high, because this is low. So this is low, this is high, this has to be high, and therefore this is low. Well, we know all 4 of these, we have 4 low digits here in row 8. So the rest of the digits must all be high. So these are all high, which means these 2 are next to a low. So this is a low, this is a low, this is a high, this has to be high. This 1 says that there's a 6 in the first position. So this is 6, which makes this a high. The 6 has to be next to a 1 and a low. So this is a low. This then is 2 or 3. This could be 2, 3, or 4. But it can't be 4 because, well, it could be 4. This can't be 4 anymore. This has to be a 5, 6 pair. Therefore, the rest of row 7 cannot contain a 5 or a 6 because the 5 or 6 is in the 7th or 8th position. This has to be 2, 3, or 4. But we know this is 2 and 3. We have a 2, 3, 2, 3 pair in box 7, which eliminates 2 and 3 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this can't be 2 or 3. It must be a 4, which means this can't be 4. This can't be 4 anymore. Therefore, where is the 4? It has to be here. And this says that a 3 has to be in the 4th position. So this is a 3, which makes this a 2. This 3 means this has to be 2, which makes that a 3. The 3 can only be next to 8 and 9 on a German whisper line. So this must be 8, which makes that a 7. This 7 means this has to be an 8. That 8 means this has to be 7. 7 can only be next to 1 or 2 on a German whisper line, so this can't be 3. This must be 1, which makes this 3, and this has to be 8. So 1 is in the 3rd position. 3 is in the 1st position, and 1 is in the 3rd position. This could be 2 or 3, either one works. This is saying a 5 is in the 8th position, so this is 5, which makes that a 6. 2 has to be in the 8th position, so this must be 2, which makes that 4. 1 could be next to specifically 7 or 9, or 6, actually. And it has to be 6 because this 2 is saying that 6 is in the 2nd position. Therefore, this is 7, 8, or 9. This can't be 9, though. This is saying 9 is in the 7th or 8th position. This could be 1, 2. It cannot be 3. It could be 3, actually. This could be 8 and 9. These all have to be highs. So then these are highs. So this is 7 or 9. This is 7, 8, or 9. And this is 7, 8, or 9. So these are both lows. And they all have to be 1, 2, or 3. But 8 cannot be in the 2nd position because of that 8. So this can't be 2. Four cannot be in this position. Where can the 4 be? It has to be one of these two. And this can't be 4, so this must be a 4. And a low. This is now a 5. So, right, okay, so 4 is in the 2 is saying that 4 is in the second position. This 3 is saying 5 is in the third position. And this can be 7 or 8. So the remaining digits here are 1, 3, and 6. This can't be 6. The 6 has to be in the 8th position, so this is 6. 6 has to be next to a 1 on a German whisper line. So this can't be 1 or 6, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 1. This can no longer be 1. This can't be 1. Where's a 1 in box 9? It has to be here. So this is 1, which means this can't be 1, this can't be 1. This one says that the 8 has to be in the first position. So this is 8. Oh, the 4 has to be next to a 9 on a German whispered line. So this is 9. That's 7. This 9 says that 3 is in the ninth position. So this is 3. In the corner, we celebrate. Therefore, this is 2. The 3 can only be next to 8 and 9 on a German whispered line. Therefore, this must be an 8, and this has to be a 9. Therefore, this is a 7. We have here, it's 2 and 7 remaining. So 9 has to be either, this can't be 7, this has to be 8, which makes that a 7. The remaining digits are 5 and 9 here. And 5 can never be on a German whisper line, so this is 9, which makes this 5. This can't be 1 or 2, so this now must be 3 or 4, which means 6 has to be one of these two cells. 5 being here means this has to be a 7, because this is saying that the 5 is in the 7th position. This 7 means this has to be 2, and this has to be 7, which is saying that the 9 is in the 7th position, which it is. These can't be 7 or 8 anymore. This 2 says that the 9 is in the second position, so this must be 9. The remaining cells here are 3, 4, and 8. 9 is in the 7th position, that's fine. The remaining cells here. So the 3 is saying that the 7 is in the third position, so therefore this is 7. The 1 is saying that the 9 is in the first position, so this must be 9, and therefore this is a 2. That's what's left over. The remaining cells here are 2, 4, and 6. This cannot be 2. This can't be 6 because it's 1 cannot be in the 6th position, so this must be a 4, which is saying that the 1 is in the 4th position. Therefore, this can't be 4, this must be a 3, which forces this to be 4. This 3 is saying that the 6 is in the 3rd position, so this is 6, this can't be 6, which makes this 6. Oh, wait. How do I... Okay, this is 2, 4, and 7. My apologies for that. This can't be 2 or 7, this has to be 4 then. Which makes this a 1. Similarly thing. Okay, so this can't be 4 or 7, so this has to be 2. This can't be 2 or 4, so this must be 7. Okay. This can't be 3 in either of these cells, and this can't be 2, so this must be 5, which makes this a 2. This 4 means this has to be 3, which makes that a 4. This 3 and 4 means this can't be 3 or 4, so this is 8. This can't be 8 or 4, so this is 3. This can't be 3 or 8, so this is 4. This only can be 6 remaining, which is in the 3rd position. This can't be 6, so therefore this is a 6, which is in the 4th position. This has to be 8, which is saying a 4 is in the 8th position. This can't be 2, so this is a 3, which is saying that 2 is in the 3rd position, which it is. And now we just do Sudoku. This is 1 and 8 remaining. This can't be 1. This has to be 8, which makes that a 1. And we have 3 and 5, so this can't be 3. This is 5, which makes that a 3. And that's how you solve it. This is interesting because this is a variation of the 159 column rule set. But it just applies to every column, essentially. Yeah. It's very restrictive to have essentially the mark cell indicates the column where the column number appears. Anyways, I hope that was clear and you understood that and that made sense to you. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.